Dealing with disrespectful in-laws can be really challenging, but there are a few strategies that I want to give us today to help you navigate and handle the situation with your in-laws and your family with grace and effectiveness. The first strategy is to communicate openly using I statements. I feel hurt when this is done. I feel disappointed when I'm treated this way. I feel upset when I see my spouse hurt based on your actions and what you say. Being able to say, when these things take place, I feel upset, I feel disappointed, and it makes us not want to be here. It makes us not want to talk to you. It makes us not want to hang out as much. Whatever the case may be, whatever it is that's happening, being able to say what the behavior plus the feeling and whatever the consequences or whatever the repercussions are. So behavior plus feeling equals consequence, and that is one way that you can use to formulate your thoughts. The next strategy is just to set boundaries. It is important to establish clear boundaries regarding what behavior you will and won't accept, and make sure that these boundaries are communicated calmly and clearly to avoid misunderstandings. And I want to note this: boundary setting is not necessarily for the person who's already being hurt and disappointed and ostracized, maybe. Sometimes it's for the person whose family it is to say, this is not okay. This is hurting us. This is hurting our marriage. This is affecting us negatively. This is hurting the children. This is, whatever the case may be. Sometimes you just have to address your family. You cannot always leave that up to the other person. And for people who are not naturally confrontational or who don't like having difficult conversations, this will definitely challenge you, but it is not okay to leave that responsibility to your spouse, for them to have to address your family and to help, put things in place to protect your spouse and your marriage. Like, that's not their job. A lot of times it's up to you to be able to have those difficult conversations. And prayerfully, if you are someone who has a good relationship, well, if you have a decent relationship and something, one or two things happen here or there, you can say, hey, this is hurting me or this affects me. But in the cases where your spouse cannot, even address anything, then you really do have to step in and kind of assist in that situation. The next thing you want to do is you want to involve your partner. You want to be able to say, we are coming to the table to address this, not I'm over here with my family and you're over there dealing with this by yourself. Well, if you were strong enough, well, if you didn't do this, then they would like you more. Well, I'm like, oh my goodness, like, that is just like, what are we doing here? So it's important for your spouse to know that we are on the same page, that I'm not on the outside looking in with you and your family, and you guys are over there running off into the sunset while I'm over here hurt and ostracized and being treated poorly. The next thing is to pick your battles. The truth is, yes, some people are just annoying. They're going to say irritating things. They're going to say things that are just uncalled for. Little minor things, I'm talking about minor irritations. Minor irritations. Being able to say, you know what, is this something that I really need to address, or is this something I can brush off because I just know these people, I know this person, I know how they are. It's not really a mountain that I need to die on right now. It's something that I just know it's them, and I can brush it off. Not every slight, not every comment needs to be addressed. Sometimes letting minor issues go can preserve family harmony and reduce stress for you. And lastly, whenever things are addressed, try to stay calm and collected. Yes, it may be that before you have that conversation, you need to vent, you need to let out some steam, you need to blow off some steam, address your emotions, deal with your emotions, and then have that conversation. You may not want to have that conversation before you've been able to kind of sit with your feelings and to sit with your emotions. All right. So at the end of the day, I'm hoping that you can benefit from these strategies. I believe you can. And by God's grace, if you're on the receiving end of these conversations, meaning if you are the family that is being approached with these conversations, with these concerns, be humble. That is God's will. Be humble and ask yourself, where can I improve? Where can I grow? Because I don't think that someone would just purposely come to you with a matter just to frustrate you that day. If they're coming to you, it probably means that they've had countless conversations, that they've really sat with this thing. They've probably prayed about it. They've probably wrestled with it. Like, man, we don't really want to have to do this, but for the sake of our peace, for the sake of our family, for the sake of our collective unit, for the sake of our marriage, we have to address this. And so if you are the recipient for those conversations, you know what, be able to say, you know what, I apologize, I'm sorry, because I didn't know, or you know, whatever the case may be, I know, but I just didn't care, and I'm sorry, or you know, whatever, you know what you need to do. All right, so we're hoping, you guys, that we can make some improvements in the case of in-law relationships. We'll see you next time. Give yourself some grace. See you soon.